Hi, this is Dr. Teacher Hawkins, and you are on my YouTube channel, Let Go or Be Dragged. And today I want to welcome you to this series of videos going a little bit deeper into our ebook on transformational leadership. Before I talk about the ebook, I actually want to share with you a quiz and want you to think about this from the perspective of, either running a team, thinking about your leadership, your groups, like kind of where they might come from. And just, sort of, this is an opportunity to go a little bit deeper. And this is on our, yeah, let's just start here. I like to start with things that are a little bit different. So the first thing that I want you to think about for yourself and for your team is this question. If I make a mistake, would it be held against me? So that's, you know, think about that, yes or no. Number two, members of my team are able to bring up problems and issues. Number three, people on my team sometimes accept others for being different. So that's accepting, that means embracing instead of being critical of those differences. Number four, it is safe to take a risk on this team. Number five, it isn't difficult to ask other members of this team for help. Number six, no one on this team would deliberately act in a way that undermines my effectiveness. And number seven, working with members of this team, my unique skills and talents are valued and utilized. Okay, so I was going to start there. Um, that quiz is helping you start to determine what kind of psychological safety exists on your team and with the people that you're working with. And I wanted to start there because the other thing that we are talking about that is highly connected to all of these pieces is how to be a transformative leader, right? And I shared with you, if you have gotten this video, you have this ebook. And these are 5 tips that we have talking about how to be a transformative leader. And one of the things that I start off with in this book here, right, is how important it is to start with why, to actually find a way to focus on not just what we do and how we do it, but to really focus on why we're doing it. And one of those things is thinking about creating safety, psychological safety on your teams. It is thinking about why it would be important. So if I go back here, and sorry for the slides being funny here, um, is this diagram that I think sometimes we just don't, have a lot of time that we focus in on. And the what we're talking about here is that we need to be solidly in our why. We need to solidly understand what's important to us. And we need to be able to express that with our teams and make sure that they can express that as well. So another way to think about establishing your why and going further with just these tips, which is what the video is about, um, is also understanding how you have a collective why with your team. For example, around those questions that help us understand psychological safety. Um, it is important that people feel like they can be heard. If people feel like they can be heard, they can make a mistake, they can ask a question and it's not going to be considered to be, stupid or irrelevant. That creates a sense of ownership. It creates a sense of belonging. It creates safety. And what it does more than anything else is that it starts to release innovation. And if we are trying to help organizations, communities, people, our programs to be transformative, then we have to really focus in on the why. So, in addition to doing the things that we laid out in the ebook, I wanted to just take a moment in this short video to remind you and to have you think about those questions related to psychological safety and have you think about why is this work at all important? Why is your leadership important? What has brought you to want to be more transformative in the work that you do? And I'll say for myself, just, why this is important to me. Um, I've been in many systems where the leadership sort of accidentally, because of who is presenting the information, gets really caught up in numbers, gets really caught up in looking at the quantity of things instead of the quality of things. And when we get past the numbers and we don't talk about the people, then the sustainability, the people's buy-in, all of that becomes fragile. And so if you want to have trust, if you want to build sustainability, if you want people to show up, and show up as their full selves, then it's important that you are taking time to not only practice the things that we've talked about in this ebook, but to also explore how you are creating psychological safety and making sure that you are establishing a culture that really welcomes people to be their full selves. So we will continue. Thank you if you have continued listening to this point. This channel and this series will be doing a little bit more unpacking and hopefully giving you a few more nuggets than what is included in the ebook. I would love for you to like and subscribe and leave a comment. How are you doing on psychological safety? What are the reasons that it is important to you? How easy is it for you if you go back to looking at the at this diagram where maybe what you're doing is you know, you're spinning, right? You're talking all the time on your team about what needs to be done, what resources you have and those sorts of things. And you're not doing the important work of really talking about your why, which is what is motivating you, what is your sense of purpose, why is this work important? Which would be, again, really supporting a sense of psychological safety and answering those 7 questions that I shared at the beginning of this video. So we look forward to finding ways to continue to support you, and I hope that you will log in for the remaining videos that correspond with this resource.